Today we are making Bloom's Flaming Halloween Punch. It is fruity, light, and we are setting it on fire. My name is Alyena, or Bloom, and welcome to my kitchen. So the first thing you are going to want to do, this is optional, but since this is a very large punch bowl, I like making a little ice mold. Also, if you make an ice mold, it melts slower than just adding ice to your punch, so it doesn't water down your drink. And if you want to jazz up your ice mold, I added a little bit of food coloring to it, as well as some edible glitter, some frozen cherries, as well as some frozen rose ice cubes, so it has just a very beautiful effect. The next thing I'm going to do is add some orange juice. This is a fairly fruity rum-based drink, so it's nice to have all those fresh fruit flavors. So I have 2 cups of orange juice going in. Next, I'm also going to add some freshly squeezed lime juice. This adds a nice level of acidity to our drink. So I have half a cup of my lime juice going in. And I said this was fruity and fun, so we are gonna add a little bit more juice. So I just have 1 cup of pineapple juice going in. As this is a fairy bloom punch, I want to deepen the color of my punch, so I'm going to add in 1 cup of pomegranate juice. You can also use cranberry juice. You just want something that has a deeper red color tone. Now this is a fairly boozy punch, so I have some triple sec. This is just some orange liqueur, and I'm going to add in half a cup of my triple sec. Triple sec is in. And to keep with the fruity flavors, I just have some coconut rum, and I'm going to add in half a cup of my coconut rum. If you don't have this, or if you just don't like coconut rum, you can just add in more white rum. It's up to you. But I like to add about half a cup of my coconut rum in. So here we have just 1 cup of our white rum going in. Now I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a stir, let everything mix together. And if you watch my videos, you know I love my bubbly and my champagne. So I'm going to add in 2 bottles of champagne to our punch. If you are serving your punch later, wait, do not add your champagne yet because you do not want it to go flat. But as I'm about to have a cocktail, I'm gonna add this in right now. Now this is totally optional, but if you wanna make your drink a flame, you're going to take some little mandarin oranges and carve out the center like so. So it's just the shell. And we are going to add these to our punch bowl. And I'm adding 5 of my little clementines to my punch bowl. Now, how are we setting this on fire, you may ask? One of the main things you need for this is a very high proof alcohol. So I found a spiced rum that is 100 proof. If you're using an alcohol that's like 80 proof, which is a lot of alcohols, it will set a little bit on fire, but not so much. So I recommend trying to find as high proof of an alcohol as possible. And if you are going to try to set your punch on fire, be very careful when you are doing it. So I only add about ½ an ounce to each of my little oranges. And also I noticed, because I had a bit of a science experiment today of trying to set my drinks on fire, was if you add a little bit of rock sugar to your little oranges, it does help them set on fire better. Some of these pieces are really big though. You only need a fairly small piece of rock sugar. Be very careful if you're serving these at a party, because especially if you're in a wig, you don't want it to light on fire. So when you are setting these on fire, I have my handy little blowtorch that I used to make my creme brulee with, or you can use a long handheld lighter. You just don't want to use a match or anything close because you do not want to burn yourself. Dusting it with a little bit of cinnamon actually makes the fire spark up and get bigger, but actually all of these are still on fire. I don't know if you can see it. So when you're working with fire, you want to let these completely burn out. Also, if you don't want to set your whole punch on fire, you can also just do it in your glass like so. Add a little bit of your clementine in, top it with a little bit of that Captain Morgan. There we go. It's a little piece of sugar in there. And now we're gonna set it on fire again. If you can tell, this is my favorite part. That's why I'm called Bloom. Make it fire. That is delicious. It's lightly fruity. You honestly don't even taste the alcohol. You taste more all those juices. And then having that little dash of cinnamon on top actually brings a nice fall flavor to it. I think this is absolutely delicious. If you would like to see some more of my Halloween recipes, there should be a playlist right here or over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a safe and fun Halloween. Cheers!